Welcome. And now I'll do a quick recap of what is Ask the Experts. So, for those that don't know, Ask the Experts is our ServiceNow Community series that's really geared towards um, a more wholesome session, right? This is all about information that you cannot find anywhere else. There might be very light documentation covered, but for the most part, 75% or more of this presentation is real world experiences, challenges, pain points, trials and tribulations, people banging their head on the keyboard, things that they've learned the hard way, all those good things. That's what these types of sessions are about. And if you would like to present in a future session, you don't have to be just an MVP or a rising star to be a presenter in a future session. I'm looking for not only those amazing folks, but hidden gems out there, people that are looking to present for the first time. Maybe you submitted for something for knowledge and it didn't get selected. Whatever that might be, you'll want to connect with me. And who I am is Allen Andreas. So I'm a senior developer advocate here at ServiceNow and your host for the Ask the Experts series. So thank you all for joining. As we move into the next slide here, just to explain quickly the session format, they're usually about 35 to 40 minutes in length. We've got a Q&A segment that we'll do at the end. You could also have asked questions before we started, and you'll be able to continue the discussion online in our Ask the Experts community page, which is brand new. You'll find this event specifically, and then you can ask questions there even after. And John and I and other people from ServiceNow will be able to watch those questions and answer them there. These are live webinars, and it is being recorded. So if you have to dip out for a meeting, or maybe you know someone that didn't make it, these sessions will be posted online within about 24 to 48 hours on the ServiceNow Community YouTube channel and the Ask the Experts series playlist. These sessions are going to occur about every 2 to 3 weeks. And that's pretty much it. So safe harbor. I don't know. I don't think we're going to touch on anything forward-looking statements as far as that goes, but we want to standardize this and show this just in case we happen to mention something for the Zurich release or another release in the future. That please don't make your ServiceNow buying decision based on what we're saying. This is all just speculative. It may make it, it may not make it. So we're just throwing that there just in case. As we move into the title slide for this presentation, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our amazing speaker, veteran MVP, John. So, John, take it away, sir.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this session. Uh, my name, as you mentioned, is here. I'm senior ServiceNow architect, and I'm over 13 years ServiceNow experience. My main focus on life science. Today, the agenda, I'm going to say, why we need AI agent. What is Agentic AI, and then in detail, we are going to talk about, what AI agent control tower, how ServiceNow and build AI agent in ServiceNow platform, how is architect designed a flow, make that works. Um, from concept, architect, then gradually we are going to move some real use cases. And we'll start from simple, we search data. For example, if anything serves now platform data, we can be searched. How can we make that happen? Then the second use cases is, we do have data information. We can search for platform, but same time we can dynamic talk to AI agent. How can you update your record? And that all happened is not, you know, have traditional workflow persona and controlled. It's actually take care by AI agent, autonomous agent, and make decision, make that happen. If we have time, we talk additional some use cases to show you is how different AI agent, not just one AI agent, you can multiple AI agent work together based on their orchestrations. And then we come to reference, a takeaway. Yeah, before I talk to, what exact agentic AI, I just give you experience. Currently in my company, we've been started working on AI since last year in Xanadu and gradually up to Yokohama go live, but we actually start Yokohama before we even go live. We support multiple customers and in life science as life science partner, and we got so many demand from AI. They just say, yeah, we have complex workflow for regulated environment for life science. How can we fix the issues? Sometimes one process may take 2 weeks. Can we resolve this issue in few hours through an agent? That's how we feel like urgency, move that direction. We start to build AI agent, start to, support, our of demand from life science. Okay, yeah, that's how we start AI. Um, then what's agentic AI means? Agentic AI means, basically the human talk to AI agent. The AI agent make decision, take action autonomously in based on whatever instruction you give to them. It's like act as humans, and it's different like regular AI. If what that means, for example, ServiceNow. If you look at Xanadu, I cannot see, it's AI agent. You just use no assist. Basically, you have one pump, you get your summarization, its instance, resolution node, whatever. It cannot interact like a real conversation with the AI agent. And then come to Yokohama, and basically we do have AI agent studio that capabilities. Then you'll be able to build AI agent, then become agentic AI, have real conversation with AIs. And particularly why we need, you know, agentic AI is I just list some example here. For example, like Bank America, they 24/7 hour, if you use AI agent, they can support the directive services like a million of inquiry monthly, and rather than regular submit a portal, process manually. That so many effort there. But if you use AI agent, everything become so efficient, and the many the queries you can handle monthly. But for the e-commerce, and like Amazon, right? When you start you submit, buy something, they analyze your pattern, understand what's your favorite, they can recommend the product for you. And you can see how an agent through the personalized experience to help the business. The healthcare, that's my field, like life science. Life science is more complex in the workflow process for the patients, clinical trial, always, you know, in the cost for manual to handle all the process. After we use AI agent, it can really analyze symptoms of patient, triage a patient, schedule, all, the doctor appointment, just like, you know, uh, 1 week process, just take a few hours, 1 hour to get done.
Yeah, so, the big question here that just to kind of bring it back to what the heck is the difference? Before I started at ServiceNow, and I just started here probably 3 months now, when I first heard of AI agents, I looked around in the crowd. I was at the sales kickoff actually in January as a guest there. And I looked around and we were kind of just like, is this a fancy workflow? Like, what is it really doing? Like, what is really going on here? And so after joining and talking to the team and learning more about it, it makes a whole lot of sense when you actually look at it side by side. So one of us had talked and we were just talking about, could we just make a scheduled flow, a scheduled job that does certain Gen AI prompts along the way? And would that be an AI agent? What's the difference, right? And so here we have it kind of broken down to help you see it in a different way, where on the left side we have, if you were to try to do this type of activity, these task-based activities through a scheduled job with Gen AI mixed in versus an AI agent, just to help differentiate between the two. So as you can see that They both are task oriented. They know what they're trying to do because you're building them to do the things, right? But then after that, it starts to lose that touch where AI agents are goal aware, there's reasoning, there's adapting to change, it has memory, all of those types of things. So if you were looking for kind of like a one pager or a one stop shop on what is the difference between a flow or a scheduled job with kind of Gen AI mixed in and AI agents, this is the slide for you. And as just as a recap, we will be giving out the deck after the presentation is over on our Ask the Experts page, but we can move forward here.
Yeah, let's look at what is AI agent control tower. Basically you can see human always try to talk about AI agent, and through basically we call AI agent orchestration. Um, in ServiceNow, you basically have two. The two use maybe Subflow, flow, script, all kinds of things. You can collect data. The data after you collect, usually you just fit into LLM. Also, I call AI agent. And AI agent just like a platform. Put your data over there. You you can just consider your data and on each platform. The platform have all the logic to handle anything you have requests from humans. And also orchestration like a team lead. You have all the agent. The agent basically have all the information provided to, see, what kind of information, HR information is, customer information, incident information, can be different agent. And when you users send the data back to, a pump to AI models, orchestration just, oh, let's lead my team, coordinate automatically to see which data, who will be handled, then put into that information back to human, and it's out, as output. It's looks pretty complex, is around AI agent, talk to, AI model, but the process is really quick and is autonomously and automatic controlled, never controlled by human itself. That's how mechanism how AI agent control tower handle AI agent, agentic AI, from beginning to end. If you look the whole process, how AI agent work in ServiceNow, you basically ServiceNow, we always have a prompt. The user can type any information you need, and you can have agentic workflow from top down handle work through each AI agent. The orchestration always planning like team leader and look at the prompt, then talk to team members. Okay, this is IT related instance. Then I will so okay, can you find the processes request from user? Then during the instance, oh, that related information, onboarding any new people and has some issues. Then HR agent start work on. And during that process, you say, oh, okay, I have asset from different outside customer and they have asset and to be processed. Then they go to CRM agent. It's all this process, lead planning by orchestration. And but foundation is still is tools. You got to provide all the data. The data is provide a support each agent, and that is important. I will going to walk through how we use it to get the data you need. And sometimes you don't want to fit too many data in. Some is not required data, and overloaded to AI agent and may cause a performance. And when you start run AI agent. Um, too, you have different options, skills. When you work in no assist, skill is one you can use it out box one, or either you can create your customized skills. And that's called, of foundation of AI agent. In that case, in Xanadu, you cannot do all this process as only focus on skills. That's how we started and moved directly into agentic AI. Then in the AI agent AI, you can have workflow. What that workflow means, you can have different components of AI agent. They're all process, all handled by orchestration. You can have approval and reviewed and creation. All this interaction through the workflow can autonomously handled by AI agent. And yeah, this is very important when I go through the process use case, next few slides, and each, role play different and how we can, you know, go to real case you can work on. At the concept, make sure you understand the concept, is the architect, how the two in a agent, orchestration, the work, support each other.
Just to help kind of, because we've got a lot of different questions about, hey, a lot of times we're seeing AI agents about, in the realm of ITSM, and because we always kind of start in that direction, right? And so there are other use cases for AI agents outside of ITSM. Just to kind of give another example, because sometimes IT kind of confuses people that we've got a lot of different diverse people out there from the BA side of the house, BPCs, project managers, platform owners, those types of things. So just to help break it down as an analogy for house cleaning, again, we're talking about flows or scheduled jobs with Gen AI mixed in versus an AI agent. I really want to try to help separate those two things. And so if you click forward one there, John, it'll kind of talk about the scheduled job. So let's pretend that we're trying to clean our house, right? We want to have a clean house. If you were to use a flow or a scheduled job with AI kind of just sprinkled in, the example here is that you have a Roomba, those little vacuum robots that are going around and vacuuming and all that. I'm not cool enough to have one, but for those that do, you have the Roomba, right? You set up a timer and it goes around every day to vacuum around the house. After you do that, you upload a photo using, this is where you kind of pull in Gen AI to show it your house, and it'll give you suggestions on, hey, you need to wipe down your counter. Hey, you need to run it more often, but you're kind of doing that manual task to figure that out. You still need to wipe stuff down. You still need to think about, is there more you need to do? So for the AI agent side, they're going to actually observe how dirty things get, right? If the kitchen gets dirtier faster than expected, they're going to help you come up with a new plan. So that's that reasoning, that's that adaptability, right? If supplies run low, they're going to help reorder it. They're even going to ask, looking at your calendar, saying, hey, we noticed you have your parents coming into town. And the last time your mother-in-law came, she said, you really need to do a better job cleaning this place up. Well, here you go. That's going to help you prepare for that type of visit. So again, just using a different analogy to kind of break down the two. But John, back to you.
Yeah, let's do some real case, and that's we focused on. Uh, First use case, basically, I want to use AI agent to search, article. And this is not the only article. This is just example. You can search instance. You can search, CMDB. All this just same approach. And when you find data, I think remember architect. I use it to search all the data. Then based on data, I can ask any questions. And uh, rather if you have thousand like big company, thousand articles, maybe 10,000 articles, this is really useful. Also, this is foundation for you move from informational search and gradually make and update the data, and based on data you provide into second use case I'm going to talk about. It's basically you have first use cases. Based on first use case, then we find additional information performed during workflow, then up to date. In addition, this is how all two use cases can handle in one AI agent because still use same data source. But in addition, if we have enough time, I'm going to give you use case 3 with different use case AI agent to work on different table, different data, how they interact with each other.
So while John's doing that, there's been at least a question on, are there on-demand courses out there that we could take today to get more prepared, right? So there are several on-demand learning courses out there about agentic AI, now assist AI agents, those types of things. And then at Knowledge, we had Build an AI Agent, which had the longest line of pretty much next to our C3 card collectible experience, as well as ServiceNow University had super long lines. And that will become a lab on demand in the learning environment within a few weeks. Usually, after Knowledge, it takes a few weeks for those courses or those labs to become things that you can actually take as a non-knowledge participant. So just give it a few more weeks and they'll be there. Otherwise, in the Q&A, I'll answer with a few that are available today. So, John, back to you.
Okay, yeah, that's good. The first use case. When you start work on AI agent, make sure you're on list in Yokohama release. And then after instance, basically you type AI agent, you can see AI agent studio. This is the one, and you can use the work too. And today I'm going to focus on only customized AI agent, and that can make it works for any module in ServiceNow. And basically, you go overview, and you can see we had different options. Overview, you can see on the bottom, you have recent use cases, AI agent. Use cases basically you can define the front end and how user work on, and your AI agent will be basically you build separately. I'll give a second. Why it's a little bit slow. And I'm going to, go create and manage AI agent. And you can see, I'm going to first cases is get knowledge information in the use cases. In the use cases, and you can have either name. You can put generic name. For example, just get information from a KB. And description, you can say, okay, this use case is to find relevant information from knowledge article. And that be clear, you can see what you need to do. However, in the instruction, you got to put a detailed step, what you really want a agent to perform. Then you can say, I say, okay, review provide article record in context. Then answer provided question in context is only information available. That means only information provided data agent sent over to AI models. Then provide explanation of how you arrive at your conclusion and display output in numbered list format. You can say really human language to communicate with the AI agent. And they, as you mentioned, we after you define on the top, usually you can add agent here, but usually we don't have agent when we define use cases. You can add agent later on after you define agent. We go to AI agent in the next one after we go to use case. And in the use cases, when you finish the first one, and you go to continue to, and the triggers, as a trigger is mentioned by Allen. You can have different approach, schedules, and I'm not going to go through that in detail because Allen already mentioned. I just want to go to all the use case from basic and to run the real, how AI agent works. Then we then go to continue. Make sure either you can no assist panel if you can either displayed. In that case, you can see here no assist and can support you to communicate with AI agents through no assist panel. You can see if you click here, you can see it's how displayed here. I'm not going to go through here, and that'll be next time. Then after you done, you save, and then we come to you to say, oh, okay, you can start to test your use cases. Uh, Before I go in test, let's go to AI agent, go to agent and get, yeah, if you go AI agent, same thing, you can define name, description, that's it pretty it based on whatever information you want to from this AI agent. But very important part is agent rule. And agent rule, if you always can find information, what is agent rule you should define. You can see it's agent rule, you got to identify how agent identity, how they act with. Pretty simple like this one. I just said, you are expert. And what your rule is answer question about knowledge articles. Then you will provide information as user want to find relevant articles. And you could just one or two sentence. But more important is instruction. Instruction is how you want AI agent works. And you can see this information and pretty similar use cases, but most cases, this one more in detail because this is just one AI agent. And that's how relevant information we can get. And the instruction, if you don't understand, instruction how it works, you always click here. They said, define specific task-oriented guideline. It's a guideline. It's like human, information. You say, oh, I provide all this information. I want to find, you know, what kind of information. For example, regulation, GSP. For example, in life science, COVID-related articles. And you step. You first one is, oh, I need to review all the articles, and then identify information based on my prompt. Then you can, based on my pump context, provide the information I need. Then I want you to list all the article related to my prompt in this is very important. You just say number list format. Then we display as exact format as you expect. After you define this is key information, more important for AI agent, then you just save continuous. Here is you can add different tools. As I mentioned in the AI, tower, you can see, all the architecture is you collect information based on the data come from. If you just count item, you can just click this one. And I'm going, if you just script, and that be more universal. You can write a script, get any table information. You can return the data back to AI agent, then send over to AI models. Then you can search retrievers. That's how I used, basically here. Let me open this one, how it's going to look like. And in this search retriever, basically you can retrieve any information and based on, search profile. The search profile, I'm not going to spend time here, but a lot is out of the box one. And sometimes you may not in Outbox, then you can create your own. That'll be different sessions. I can teach you how to create your own search portfolio. For example, CNDB search portfolio. Sometimes it's not here. You can, uh, maybe need to create yourself. But on the search resource, knowledge table, you can search and there's the one tables and found returned. You can say this is returned data. You can see descriptions and large article bodies and numbers. And all this information you can able to dynamic send prompt from user to get and from this return data in AI models. More important is, search criteria. And you can see, you know, I will select hybrid for this one. And there is a keyword that sometimes is, you can base our keyword, but hybrid may be more dynamic, cover both scenarios. Then you can select body title. In this one, it's very for execution mode. And for each agent, I don't need, you know, some approval during the process, not like AI agent workflow. You need approval before you process in next step and perform next task. That case, you select autonomously. And if you say, oh, I need approval before I proceed, then you need to select supervised. And display output, I put a yes, you can see what can display it. And
So
this is
a couple things here, John, just to kind of like bring it back to everyone so that they're aware of what's going on. So when you're configuring or setting up an AI agent, as John is showing, it's more than just go in, click create new, type out some stuff, and that's it, right? So as you can see at the top there, there was the describe and instruct step. So that's where you're basically giving it the AI agent its identity. You're telling it, hey, your goal, your whole meaning for existence is to do this thing, right? That's the goal. And then after that, you go into your tools, and that's where you're setting up your guardrails and saying, okay, now that I've told you to do this, I don't want you to just run rampant around our enterprise doing this thing. Here's some of the things that we want you to leverage that'll help you accomplish the goal. And so that's where the tools and information, such as here's a flow action on how to search knowledge articles, here's what knowledge base we're even talking about, these are the articles that you should probably focus on. You kind of put that guardrail on there. And some of the information that John showed, like the search retrieval and those actions and those tools, you can set those up to be supervised, meaning it once it hits a step and it needs to reach, it'll reach out to you for, hey, should I actually do this thing? That's the supervised step. Whereas you can choose autonomous, and that will automatically use the tool, pull the information in, and then resume and keep going from there. So just want to kind of level set on some of that. So.
okay. Yeah, since we don't have enough time, I'm going to speed up. Basically, after you the AI agent, you go to the next step and then define what we displayed. This is just simple process with simple AIs. I'm going to go more to test. And test it can test the AI agent directly, but I'm going to test from use case perspective. And you said, get information for knowledge. And I said, okay, uh, please list all the articles with GSP information. Yeah, please list in the number format. Let me see what happened. When you click start test, you can see AI agent and start to kick in orchestrations, start to look at AI agent, try to start find the information you need. And you can see it's really virtualized. You can see AI agent is look all information, but you can see AI agent decision log here and start kicking for different step in details. Also here we give you information during the process. Anything go wrong didn't processed, then it can help you to debug from AI agent decision tree. Then you can see all this article and pretty easy to display it. All this, which article has the information related to research for life science. Just also resource still searching. And some, one is I want to update the record. For example, basically this article record and I want to say, okay, I want AI agent talk to each other, to update existing record as based on user input. Um, in I will show you and how we build this one first, and we then give quick demo. That's second use case. The second use case based on first use case. Basically, uh, we have called, for example, knowledge expert. I'm not going to go through each how to define. Okay, then we basically define the use case at the same time. You can see we have the agent defined. The agent is interesting. I'm not going to go to description instructions. Instruction more and complex. Basically, we work on different, AI agent to retrieve the information, then find the information, update informations, and uh, each instruction you got to have detailed information based on AI agent you have. If you have more than 2 agent and 3 agent, this description the instruction you can put detailed human instructions. And for example, if you want to build a testing script, UAT script, then you got to put detailed step one by one how to build. Same thing like this one too. Uh, if you go to 2, you can see it's different is on the first one. The first one is similar our first use case. I'm going to get knowledge article information autonomously. That means I don't need output. I just want to get information. Get the information based on knowledge article number, and I just write script, see, but give based on input. You got specify input in script. Then based on number, you go through the script, I can get information I need. Basically pretty glide record, a record you can return and informations and back to, orchestration. Orchestration looks at, this data, the pass number next, tool. See this tool builds, and you can see it's everything. I had 2 different input field. One is number based on information I get from orchestration. Second one based on information I look at, article body and content. Then back to all input to the script. You can see was not, and you can update or not. And you can script, I'm not going to see glide record, go through based on input, find the record, then give update. Since timing issues, I'm not going to go to detail one by one. Uh, Update defined by this one, it's more important. I'm not going to select autonomously. I select you getting the approval before you change the articles. Then will change your display output. Yeah, that's how different with the first one and second one. I'm going to test this one. Everything is same like first one, how they configure, set up. And I can see, I hope my instance not slow. And I'm going to say, okay, let's do this. Can you rewrite? And I'm going to copy this one and see what happened. I keep this article open. You can see how that change.
While John is typing this, we've had people ask questions on, will this AI agent functionality bring in a new role in the ecosystem, right? We have BAs, BPCs. Will this be a prompt engineer? Is this an AI orchestrator engineer? Those types of roles. There will be, this is speculation on my point here. There's probably going to be roles like that in the future. Today, though, because it's already here now, we have our ServiceNow developers, admins, builders, architects are the ones that are being tasked with kind of going in and building these out. And as you can see through some of the screens and such that John has showed, it is not all just low code, right? So it does have, for those developers worried about, losing their job or something to that effect, you can see here that some of the tools that the AI agent uses is things like a script or a flow action, which is could be a whole script in and of itself, an integration or something to that nature. So there's still a lot out there. It's still in the early stages where the developers, admins, builders are the ones kind of working on these. And yeah, but see, we got some feedback here from John doing some testing here. So the use case, again, just to recap, was essentially building an AI agent that was a knowledge expert and then telling it, hey, here's a knowledge article specifically, and then go and rewrite this in the, personification of Abraham Lincoln or something to that effect, right? So it's just kind of showing that the AI agent can be told a knowledge article, actually go out, find the article through the search tools, find it, and then read it over, and then convert it to the type of terminology and verbosity that a persona would have, and then rewrite the article as another version and offer that up. So.
Okay. And you can see here, agent asks you, do you approve the proposed change to knowledge article? I say yes.
And so just to explain here too, while it's testing, you can see that the test start was the use case being triggered, right? So when you build a use case, you set a trigger for when this should automatically go off. And then from there, it goes into the orchestrator. Because a use case could be associated to multiple AI agents that are all kind of doing different things, the orchestrator would then look at the step that it's on and say, oh, hey, I'm going to find the right AI agent that would work best for this task and then assign it properly. And that's where the AI control tower that John showed and talked about in the beginning of the webinar is your one major lens in your landscape of AI agents to be able to see all of that. And then
The-
once the orchestrator has found the right agent, as you can see here, it's found that the knowledge expert agent was the one best suited. It then sent the task over to them. So,
you can see the agent ask a question again, checkpoint before the really update. It's like, next step, your update knowledge article. It's okay to proceed. I say yes. The update to knowledge article was successful. Then you can see knowledge article be updated with all informations. This displayed on here. You can see, okay, second, all information. This all the top information you can see and will be updated here.
and while that's going on, we got lots of questions, so lots of engagement. Just to recap for everybody, we will have all of the questions listed in the event details on our Ask the Experts community page. And so you'll be able to see all of the questions asked there. Some of them you can already click today. If you click on Q&A and then at the top you can see answered, you'll be able to see there's 13 that's already been answered behind the scenes today. We have 16 open questions that we'll get to as well.
Yeah, I'm going to not go through this one since timing. You can see a summarize, effective instruction guideline, and you can go through this on yourself. If you follow this instruction, that'd be easy for you build your first AI
Yep.
agent.
And we have a slide here coming up that'll go over some leading practices as well. So as John's got here, there's AI resources, there's training available online in our learning management system. There's going to be labs added from Knowledge 2025, which was some great experiences there. There's also AI days that are coming up that you can sign up online. We'll put a link to that as well after the webinar is over. Um, if you want to jump forward,
Yeah, this
John.
this 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 block is very important. Is block I wrote is collect all the AI resource, not this AI agent, over 100 resources summarized from, YouTube, ServiceNow Community, everything. If you just come to this place, you should find all the AI information, AI agent, generate AI information you need.
Yeah, so just to kind of wrap it up, we got 2 minutes left here, but yeah, so you've learned today from John's amazing presentation here, like how AI agents work in ServiceNow. You're not going to learn everything in 40 minutes, right? That wasn't kind of the goal here to teach it all, but it went high level over ServiceNow AI agents, getting you exposed to it. If you think that it's not going to be in your environment today or your organization today, I believe, John, you kind of were working with some of your clients beforehand and it was a lower interest in it, but then now come fast forward 2025, knowledge 2025, and now that has significantly upticked where organizations are really starting to ask more about this. So for those in the camp that think, hey, it's not going to happen to me, it's not going to happen to us, it's coming. It's just how prepared are you going to be? But some leading practices here, again, we'll have this in the deck, but we had some questions around when should I actually build an AI agent? Just because you can doesn't mean you always should. So here are some very high level guidelines. When there's complex decision making, when there's difficult to maintain rules or heavy reliance on unstructured data, that's when the AI agent can help, because that's going to help parse through all of the abnormalities and help pull that together for you. Whereas if it's already structured, it's already in a table, it's already organized, then that helps AI agents, yes, but you could maybe do a lower cost, effective measure that way, right? Guardrails to keep in mind when things have been identified. Already put those guardrails in place, optimized for both security and user experience. And then people want to know, hey, when should it be supervised versus not supervised or autonomous? And these are the guidelines for adding supervision when it's early in development process. Have supervision in there, right? You don't want to just all of a sudden say, here's my new thing, version one, boom, it's automated. I wouldn't recommend doing that. And then also high risk actions. So anytime that the AI agent is supposed to be changing a state value on a record from open to closed or resolved or whatever it might be, sensitive, irreversible actions, payroll information, obviously have supervision there. Thanking everybody for attending. Again, visit our page devlink.sn/ask the experts. We'll have that linked as well. That's our new community page where we'll have all of the questions asked today. And then for those that we didn't get to, we're going to go get the answers for you and then post those in there. So thank you all so much for
Yeah,
attending yet another Ask the Experts session. Thank you to John for coming out and presenting this session. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks, everybody.
thank you, everyone.